Yeah, for sure. It's a weather impact alert day. Everyone's like, what? Why? If you haven't been paying attention to the weather forecast, we got storms in the forecast, and you have a few to show you on radar here ahead of the noon hour. Things are going to start to have basically an uptick on radar over I would say the next 6 hours or so, starting at noon, ending about dinner time. Now, if you're here on the I-35 corridor where we have a heavy population, a lot of this is going to be, I'd say, mid to late afternoon. If you see anything at your house, some folks are going to miss out. It is going to be isolated as scattered thunderstorms. But yes, there's a low-end severe threat. So I'll talk all about it here over the next few minutes. And thank you if you're tuning in on Facebook as well. Hey guys, or on my cell phone there in the corner. But if you have questions, put them in the comments if you are on Facebook, by the way. If you're on 6 Plus, welcome. You guys, it is also going to get cold. When is that going to happen? Not till this evening. Right now we have warm, humid air in place, humid air in the low levels. You feel it when you step outside. Kind of feels like it's about to rain. It is on the cool side compared to yesterday at this exact time. We have thick cloud cover in place. Why is that important? The less cloud cover we're seeing into this afternoon, we're going to be watching for those pops of sun. We do have enough instability that I think the hail threat is a little bit greater in areas that do see the breaks in the clouds. So watching that as well as some other parameters into this afternoon. You can see, though, looking out over Temple right now, no breaks in the clouds for the time being. 62 degrees. So I mentioned it's a little bit cooler as we approach the noon hour. 60s and 70s across our great state, depending on where you're at. We do have a strong punch of cooler air that is already impacting far west and northwest Texas. As you can see, 40 degrees in Amarillo right now, 62, Abilene 62, Waco. It is about 70, 72 down in the Brazos Valley. Very, very humid down there. Speaking of humidity, let's get straight to radar. A little bit stronger of a storm, non-severe for the time being between San Saba and Goldthwaite, and another one forming to the southwest near it. We'll zoom into that here in a second. You can see some sprinkles falling in Bell County, McLennan County now. The Brazos Valley starting to see an uptick and a little bit heavier pockets of rainfall, still on the light side technically, though. When you see the greens, that is light rain that is falling and or sprinkles. When you start to see the reds, the purple returns, that is very heavy rainfall that is falling. You can see Huntsville getting a non-severe storm. A little bit of an indicator that there is some hail out in San Saba County. I'll get to that here in a second. You can see the stretch from Rockdale basically towards Centerville and East Texas and our eastern counties. That is rain that has been falling for several hours, but very light rainfall. So let's zoom into the one loner storm. Now, actually, there is now a brand new one forming to the southwest of San Saba. If you are near Goldthwaite, 183 towards Evant and Highway 36, definitely send us what you're seeing. There is some lightning packing a punch here in this non-severe thunderstorm. Now, this is a small storm. I've just zoomed all the way in, so it is not going to last very long at any location. But yes, National Weather Service just before we began this stream was typing indicating that in the mid levels that there is enough rotation. They're seeing potentially some hail that could be forming. Now, if it does form, it is likely to be potentially pea-sized, maybe some pocket change-sized hail. So non-severe storm there, moving away from San Saba towards to the east of Goldthwaite, Evant, Jonesboro's out there, even though it's not pulling up, and then eventually off towards Hamilton, Highway 36. So this non-severe storm, it could continue to strengthen slightly over the next hour or so. It could also peter out because it's a pretty small storm. So something we're going to continue to watch. You can see moving into Hearn, potentially some moderate rainfall. When you start to see the yellow returns, that rain is definitely hitting the ground. And then outside of our viewing area, this thunderstorm has strengthened slightly. Likely does have some very small hail that is hitting the ground. It is outside of our viewing area, but near Madisonville. If for some reason you're traveling towards Houston today, the further southeast and towards East Texas that you go, they have a little bit higher threshold, a little bit more unstable of an environment to see the stronger of thunderstorms into this afternoon. So let's zoom all the way out, and if you're just tuning in, welcome. We are covering the window for precipitation. I'm also going to show you quickly in the next few minutes 2 weather models that perform pretty well day of and what they're showing in terms of potentially what radar looks like this afternoon. So again, just to recap things, the 2 thunderstorms I am currently watching, neither one of them is severe for the time being, but could see some pocket change size hail to the east of College Station, moving outside away from our viewing area, and then the other one being near San Saba, moving off towards Goldthwaite and then eventually towards Hamilton. Again, storms orientation-wise, as the morning has rolled on, all of them have been moving from southwest to northeast, and that is going to be the orientation this afternoon as well. So going to be watching for additional thunderstorms to be forming when we have peak instability ahead of a strong cold front that is going to knock the instability out of there, bring the humidity way down, bring gusty winds into tomorrow morning, y'all. Right now it feels like it's 70. It's going to feel like about 30 by Saturday morning. Slim chance for the storms this afternoon to contain those gusty winds, small hail. What's the parameter for hail to see a severe thunderstorm warning? 1 inch, that is a quarter in diameter. So for this afternoon, level 1 marginal risk from the SPC, basically tip of Waco pointing east, and then our far eastern counties, Madisonville, Centerville, College Station just the east of you, level 2 slight risk. So a little bit higher of a risk is what I'm saying the further east and southeast that you go to see those severe thunderstorms. For most of us, it is going to be a quick downpour, potentially very small hail, and some gusty winds into this afternoon. So model number 1, this one called the graph. I have been trusting it a little bit more so this season. Shows that by 2 o'clock we have a few storms on radar. Not everyone is going to see precipitation or storms. Just, you know, some folks going to see no rainfall for today. They aren't going to last too long at any particular location, moving southwest to northeast. Again, low end hail threat. There's going to be some gusty winds, thunder, lightning. You know the drill. Potentially by 3, 4 o'clock, you start to see potentially these storms are clustering together at times. That would be downpours for an hour or so at any location at most. And again, storms are going to start to clear from west to east in general. And you see the clearing line right here. This is that front arriving late afternoon to this evening, depending on where you're at. And once the front reaches your location, your rain chance is done. The air is going to clear out essentially into this evening. So I think by 4 or 5 o'clock, we have a few more thunderstorms on radar. Now, a lot of it is going to be either in our eastern counties or outside of our viewing area by 5, 6 o'clock. If you have dinner plans and you're wondering, I think I-35 by then is probably in the clear, but we want to watch the front and what it's doing. Is it continuing to move at the pace that it is right now? Does it start to stall out? And we have a little bit more on radar through 5, 6 o'clock is the question being that's in my head right now is how long does this linger basically. I think by 8 o'clock, our counties are good to go. With the exception of I-45 corridor, there could be a lingering isolated thunderstorm by late this evening when the sun goes down. For the majority of us, this is an afternoon event today. By 9, 10 o'clock, we're good to go. Second weather model, this one called the HRR, H-R-R-R. This one also performs pretty well day of. It is showing, again, agreeing with the other model that by 1, 2 o'clock, we've got isolated to scattered thunderstorms. Right now, there's one to be talking about. I think it's probably 2, 3, maybe 4 is where things peak this afternoon at. So fast forward to 2, 3 o'clock, you can see a few of the storms kind of clustering together. You see the oranges and the reds, good indicator that we are seeing the thunderstorm activity on radar. Again, the higher threat is the further east that you go, and both models are agreeing. All the data we're looking at is agreeing that I-45 corridor down towards College Station between there and Houston especially has a higher likelihood to see the stronger thunderstorms today through this evening. You see this model also agrees. By this evening, we go to bed. This thing is done. For a lot of us, again, afternoon event. So tomorrow morning, we wake up in the 40s and maybe even some upper 30s readings. Subtract 10 off these numbers. That's what it's going to feel like because it is going to be windy up to 25, 30 out of the north and very dry, cold air in place post-front. Tomorrow afternoon, our high temperature, about 55 degrees, partly cloudy skies. The further southeast that you are, more cloud cover in place Sunday. Also mostly cloudy skies. No rain this weekend. Dry air in place. We wake up in the 30s near 40 on Sunday morning. Probably going to feel like freezing again that morning. So cooler day tomorrow for sure. Also windy. And then Sunday, temperatures finally rebound back to about 60 degrees. Probably going to feel more like upper 50s due to the extensive cloud cover in place. If we have breaks in the clouds, feel a little bit warmer Sunday afternoon. So winter is finally arriving is how I would describe it. You can see it is going to feel like 20s and 30s tomorrow morning. Again, if you tuned in late or if you're on Facebook, have questions, I'll look in the comments right after this. But 7-day forecast, weather impact alert ends this evening once the clearing line does reach you. And again, since I have the time I need here recapping, I'll jump to radar one more time because some folks probably jumped on late. But generally, we're going to see a clearing trend by this evening. Things are likely to peak right around, I would say, 2 to 5 o'clock this afternoon. So if you're wanting to plan something, if you have something outdoors, definitely want to be monitoring radar. But also, if you can avoid being on the roads mid-late afternoon, that would probably not be a bad idea, just considering I think we'll have a few more storms than what we're seeing on radar right now. And it is likely to slow things down. So it looks like the storm that we were zoomed in on has weakened slightly, not a whole lot, headed towards 36 between Gatesville and Hamilton, Jonesboro. So would avoid travel there over the next 2 hours or so, I would say. But you could see some light sprinkles here and there. Rockdale to Centerville, continuing to see the light rainfall. The cells we're watching now, it actually looks like the one behind it to the southwest of San Saba, moving into San Saba right now, eventually will be to 183 between Goldthwaite and Lampasas. That cell is strengthened slightly, similar to the other two right here, to the west of Avant, west of Adamsville, likely going to clip you Adamsville, but you're not going to get very much. And it just did an update there. These aren't severe, by the way. I've zoomed way in. These are actually relatively small thunderstorms here, but this is what we have in Central Texas for the time being. I think we're going to see a few more of these forming here in the coming hour. So timing for today is going to be basically right now, because we're already seeing a few thunderstorms through dinner time tonight, and then things are going to clear from west to east into East Texas. You can see the biggest thunderstorm in Texas right now is basically slamming into Huntsville, and it's not severe. It is just a little bit larger than what we're seeing here in Central Texas. So going to be watching towards the southwest. You see a little bit of light rainfall way out in the hill country right now. We'll watch and see if it starts to form into a new thunderstorm. Also, we'll be interested to see if we do have this line right here where storms keep forming near San Saba into this afternoon. We'll have going on what we call training, yes, like a choo-choo train, where they kind of set up in a line and it's like bowling balls again and again and again, same places getting the thunderstorms. It will be interesting to see if that happens. Because right now we've basically got 3 lines of folks getting rain and thunderstorms. We've got the one San Saba Goldthwaite towards Hamilton. We've got the other one to the west of College Station set up with light rain, and then to the east of College Station you could see the clusters of thunderstorms with more forming behind it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens this afternoon. That is before the cold front does get here. So again, interesting weather finally in the weather department has ramped up here. We'll do more of these videos throughout the day. We'll also be on air channel 6 at 5, 6, and 10 tonight. So I'll be on air at 5 and be recapping all of this between now and then. We'll also have 3 meteorologists in house by 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we're going to be covering all the things. We'll keep you up to date and more. But Jasmine, in general, it is finally good to see some rain on radar because it has been so dry. We need rain.